Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. I want to take some time to demonstrate some of the apps and things that I was able to put together using the Microsoft platform. The Microsoft platform allows you to build some amazing things using low-code technology. So using SharePoint, Power Apps, Power Automate, you can do some amazing things. So I want to go through and just show you some of the apps that I've put together. My plan was to do this months ago, but of course, other projects got in the way. But nevertheless, I'm going to jump in and demo the first app. And this app is called a class Biosketch app. So what is that? My current full-time job is at a PA program, which is a 2-year program. So every 2 years, we get about 90 or 92 students to come to the program. In an effort to help everyone get familiar and learn each other's names, we asked the students to submit an audio file of them pronouncing their first and last name and the pronouns they use. And I used SharePoint and Power Apps to put together an app that allowed them to see the photos, first name, and hear the audio of the students. Another thing this does, it helps with inclusion. It's been said that some people whose name is often mispronounced noted that they sometimes feel alienated, unimportant, and in some cases discriminated against. So this app also helps with that. So I'm going to jump right in and walk you through the app. So this is my class Biosketch app. For privacy's sake, I'm using names and data that I pulled from ChatGPT in the last video. And so we have the headshot, first, last name, preferred name. We have the pronouns and a short bio, which was submitted by the student. Now I also have a play button, which plays the audio file that we had the student submit ahead of time. Oliver Adams. You can call me Ollie. My pronouns are he, him, his. I included a drop down. That way we can go between classes. So we have class of 2005, and then we can switch to view class of 2004. I also included a search, so you can search by name. Okay, so how did I put this together? I used a SharePoint list for students. I used a SharePoint document library for student media. And then I used Power Apps to build the Canvas app. Let's jump in SharePoint first. So here's my SharePoint list. And so in this list, I have all the columns needed to populate my app. 2 key columns are the net ID column and the class year column. This class year column is used to populate the drop down, and this net ID is used to connect the photos in the student media to this list. Another important column is the status column. I use this column to filter the students that should be shown in the app and those who should not. So now let's look at the library. In the library, I house all of the JPEGs for the headshots. I'm using a lookup column from the student list to pull in the net ID and the class year. I chose the lookup column because it's easy for me to pull the right name to match the photo than it is for me to know which net ID belongs to the photo. So now let's take a look at the Canvas app in Power Apps. This app contains 1 screen and 2 galleries. Let's start with the screen. In the unvisible property, I only have a little code. It starts with a set variable, and it's going to capture the current year plus 1. The current class year is always 1 year ahead of the actual year. So this is 2024. The current class is 2025. And doing it this way keeps me from having to come back and update it every year because it dynamically grabs the current year and add one to it. Next, I'm creating a collection, and this collection will have the distinct class years from the students list. So I usually keep about 3 years of students in the incoming students, the current students, and the students that's about to graduate. So this will pull those distinct years dynamically without me having to update this. And next, we're creating another collection. And in this collection, we're going to pull all of the students from the student list, and we're going to filter those students by the class year using that dynamic variable. And we want all the active students. And this is going to pull the current year of students. So when you first load the app, you're going to see the current year students. And finally, we're going to create another collection. And this time we're taking the collection that we previously created and we're adding a column to it. We're going to be tapping into the student media library and we're going to grab the thumbnail picture. And we're doing a lookup and we're going to match up the net IDs from the students list to the net ID from the student media library. And that new column would be named student pick. All right, so let's jump to the galleries. So I have 2 galleries. They have the exact same code. The only difference is the Flex gallery is made for mobile, so it's a little slimmer. And the main gallery is the full width for a computer screen. And so in the gallery, what we're doing, we're bringing in that new collection that we created that contains the thumbnail. And then we're going to filter that by whichever class year is selected in the drop down. So that would be this drop down. And when the app starts, it's going to be the current year students. But if you change it, that would trigger this filter to update this collection to whatever year is selected from that drop down. And then we also put in a filter for our search box. So we're going to search by the first name, which is the title, and then we're also going to start with the last name. And we're going to sort again by last name in ascending order. And that's it. Really simple app, but very helpful for what we need. So thanks again for joining me. I hope you'll join me next time as I demo another app. Take care.